Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dreamleapers Inspiration. I'm your host, Harriet Cole. As always, honored to be here with you today. Thank you so much for joining, either now live during our half-hour time to be together, or whenever you join uh, via being on demand, which I think is just so fantastic that technology can partner with us so that we can be together as it suits our schedule. Uh, I This has been such a busy time of late. This is graduation season. As you know, last week my daughter graduated from college, and I've got many friends whose children and godchildren and nieces and nephews and grandchildren are making that transition from whatever point it is in their educational life to the next. At the same time, there are all kinds of other things happening that are both challenging us and supporting us as we move through life. Things happen, changes forever and always. And there are ups and downs. As I've engaged lots of people because I've been at a bunch of public events, I have listened to folks talk about the challenges and the victories that they have been experiencing in the past few days and weeks, and ever since the last time that we connected with each other. And that's life, isn't it? We have ups and downs. There was this incredible experience that I had just a couple days ago. I went to a fantastic art opening of an artist named Sanford Biggers. Many of you may know him. He is a world-renowned artist who just opened a show at the Parrish Art Museum in Southampton, in the Hamptons in New York. And as I went to this opening, it was jam-packed, filled with people interested in learning about this particular collection that he brought that is looking at clouds. And he's studied clouds for his ever since he was a kid, in part because he went to Japan as a young man and immersed himself in Buddhist culture, learned about the mandalas, which are these sacred sand artistic renderings that Buddhist monks typically create as a meditation. And they're gorgeous art formations. And at the end, they sweep it away. So as he described it, it is ephemeral. It is impermanent. This incredible beauty that exists at once, and then whoosh, it's gone. And so the goal is for you to experience the beauty of it. If you are fortunate enough to see it made, to experience the beauty of it being created, it as it emerges before you, this incredible piece of art, and then to understand that it is in that moment that you experience it, and then you have to let it go because it does not last. That is how life is, isn't it? Even though we want it to be permanent, we want it to be forever, but is it forever? Well, the spirit may be forever, but the actual physical life, not so much. And so just as we were celebrating Stanford, and there was a talk exploring his work for so many years, also his uncle-in-law had just passed away, and the family was going from this beautiful celebration of Sanford's career immediately to go to his uncle's funeral. And his uncle had passed away relatively suddenly, so it was a shock to the system of the family, and to, it was a shock. But it's like life and death, the impermanence of life, as well as the fullness of life. And I thought that was beautiful to contemplate. As we saw, and if you get to go to the Parrish Art Museum, I highly recommend it. He had a piece, his version of the mandala now, which these really interesting graphics. They are usually in circles. This was not. It looks almost like a prayer rug that he made. Huge. Took hundreds of hours to make. And when the exhibition comes down, it will be swept away. That thought of beauty and creativity and joy and love and the impermanence of it all. Isn't that what life is like? And in the midst of it, what do we do? How do we live? How do we spend each precious moment that we have on this planet? And when stuff is going on, like this case, as Sanford was celebrating with so many people the beauty of his work and the fact that it was being honored in this treasured art museum, and going to bury his uncle-in-law the very next day. It reminds me of many of you who are connected to me personally know that I grew up at Essence, and my former boss, Susan L. Taylor's daughter, recently passed away. Possibly the worst thing to have to bury your child. But Susan had just had this joyous event for the 20th anniversary of her National Cares Mentoring Movement and her 80th birthday. And it was a triumphant celebration, followed moments later, it felt, by her daughter's passing and the service to celebrate her life and send her on. This is life. It's the ups and downs. It's the joy, the glory of it all, and the impermanence of it all. And in the midst of all of that, my message to us is to stay strong. I'm just going to pause for a moment to see. I've got some folks saying hello. Hi to all of you who are saying hello to me, and know that later in this broadcast, you could join the broadcast if you'd like. If you want to do that, you can go online. You don't have to leave this, but you go online to harrietcole.com/inspiration. And if you want to be part of the conversation, we're going to talk together in a little bit. But let's talk about this notion of staying strong. You know, we look at the ephemeral nature of life. It's incredible and it's fleeting. It's here and then it's gone. But what do we do in the here? What do we do in the here and now? There's a woman, a publicist, a woman I knew for so many years. When I started at Essence, she was there. She started her PR firm while working with the team at Essence and went on to be an incredible publicist, Terry Williams. Terry has been a force in the entertainment industry, celebrating people, particularly people of African descent, who have been big in entertainment. And she had, like how some people say sincerely at the end of a note, she would say, stay strong. She would always say, stay strong, that, you know, no matter what is going on, stay strong. And I think she made something called the Stay Strong Foundation, if I have this correct. But anyhow, Stay Strong was her belief and her saying, and she would say it out loud and tell people regularly because she felt that it was so important to remind people that in this ephemeral moment that we have, it's our duty to stay strong, to be able to fully live the moment, whatever that moment may be. I'm going to say hi to Sekou, who I've invited to talk to us in a little bit. He's got a special message that he wants to share with us. Hello, Virginia. I think I saw Jean Seidman a moment ago, who is my neighbor. Hello to all of you who are writing in to say hello. You know, I love when you do that. And also those who are just being connected silently. Hello to all of you. This notion, stay strong. What does it mean when no matter what is going on, you make the choice to stay strong? That human willpower, we hear about it all the time, that your will can keep you alive, can extend the ephemeral moment, right? Another friend I saw this weekend was sharing, he had a big birthday, and he was sharing about the tender nature of his wife's health and saying that at this stage of the game, it is will that will keep her alive and thriving. I'm going to say to us, I think it's will all the time. Now, in those tender moments when it could be life or death, it could be joy or sadness, when there's a pivotal point, it becomes more obvious that we need to grasp that willpower and make the choice to put our stake in the ground, to do whatever it is that we need to do in order to be strong. But it's always true, isn't it? It's always true. Let's see, I have some folks writing in. Let's see, what are they saying? The new Wood 25. Yeah, great to be with you, Jean. And let's see. The New Wood says, stay present on the universe, be kind, love one another. Indeed. And these are things that people say, but what does it mean when you do it? When you actually make the choice to be kind to one another. So it's easy to do this when things are going well. You're in a good mood. You pass people in the street. Hey, how you doing? Oh, nice to see you. Or do you just smile? You smile and somebody smiles back at you. That happened to me so much this past weekend. People I absolutely do not know. I don't think I've ever seen them before. We passed each other and smiled. And that genuine smile was so sweet. And it invoked an inner strength and inner power because it was seeing each other, the humanity of seeing each other, of connecting to another person. That was so incredibly powerful. And we as human beings can share strength with each other. It's not just staying strong for ourselves, but staying strong and sharing that strength so that like there's a swirl of strength that can happen. And I just think that is so incredibly powerful. Let's look at the quote that I found that I think will enlighten us. It's from Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was an incredible bodybuilder for decades. And he said, strength does not come from winning. Now, he was a bodybuilder and it was all about winning. And then he was the governor, I think, of California. Strength does not come from winning. Your struggles develop your strengths. When you go through hardships and decide not to surrender, that is strength. Okay, think about that. Strength does not come from winning. Strength does not come from winning. Well, it makes sense because if you win, you're like, oh, yay, okay, this is great. I did great. Thank you. Everybody's celebrating you. Everything is so good. You don't necessarily have to exercise all the muscles that you've got if you're winning, taking nothing away from winning. But Arnold says strength does not come from winning. Your struggles develop your strengths. Your struggles, when things are tough, when it's not going the way you want, when you're disappointed, when you don't do well on an exam, a project, a relationship, a task, when you don't do well and you're like, oh, you feel deflated. How did I get here? What can I do now? Your struggles develop your strengths, he says, because you have to figure out your way through it. When you go through hardships, and decide not to surrender, not to give up, that is strength. Isn't that powerful? Now, I want you to really think about it. What are struggles that you're going through right now? What is happening in your life that is a challenge? And depending upon what that might be, you can pick one thing. What is a challenge? And are you facing it? Are you dealing with it? Are you attempting to figure your way through it? What do you need to do so that it does not stymie you? What do you need to do so that you can survive it, you can surpass it, you can heal from it? Whatever the challenge is, what are you determining that you can do so that you can move on, so that you don't get stuck? I think it's super important for you to consider this. And then, are you doing those things? Like a lot of times we don't even know, what is the challenge that I'm facing? What's going on? Let me evaluate that. Then, okay, I figured it out. Or something may be really obvious. And then what can I do about it? What are the things that can be done about it? And what of those things can I do? And then, am I doing it? And a whole bunch of times, even though we know what we're supposed to do, we don't do it. Oh, yeah, if I did that, then this would happen. Well, then why aren't we doing it? What's on your list that you know you need to do and you're not doing? And I'm not asking you this to make you feel bad. I'm asking you this to challenge you to address it. In this ephemeral time, we do not have life forever. In this moment, in this time that we have on the planet, what can we do to face our challenges and be victorious? And what can you do that maybe you aren't doing right now? Okay, so I want to invite my friend Sekou to come on. Sekou, you need to sign in. And actually, Fallon, you can put it up there because anybody else who wants to participate in this conversation can come in. You have to go to harrietcole.com/inspiration. And when you go there, we'll bring you backstage. So it's harrietcole.com/inspiration. Sekou, if you would go there, then we can bring you on. I invited Sekou to talk with us today because he has a very special story. Some of you may know Sekou if you're part of my world. You know, he's been part of my world since my daughter was born, and she just graduated from college. So that's a lot of years, 22 years. And he has a special story that kind of shows what resilience looks like and what it means to stay strong no matter what's going on in your life. So while we wait for him to join, we may be having a technical difficulty. While we wait for him to join, again, if anybody else wants to join, that's good too. So my friend Laura says, what am I not doing that is on my list right now? Oh, thank you once again. Life is ephemeral indeed. Girl, isn't it? We need reminders. We need reminders. Like if you really do understand, and that's why the mandala imagery, which is spiritual, the Buddhists use it, Hindus use it, and Sanford Biggers has created this mandala. You spend so much time. You spend so much time working on your life, and then it's gone. And that's okay because that's life. So Sekou, it is right in your computer, www.harrietcole.com/inspiration. It's what's up on the screen. You got to put it in your, like you're going to my website. And if you do that, then it'll bring you on. This notion of what is ephemeral, I thought it was so powerful as Sanford was talking about it, because we make the mistake of believing that life is forever. Well, I have so much more time. And at every decade, we start thinking, oh, things look, like 40 is the new 30, 50 is the new 40, 60 is the new 30, whatever it might be. We're always thinking that if we're healthy, relatively healthy, when you get to that decade, then you think, oh, we look so much younger than we used to look. Well, life is so much more vibrant than it once was at whatever the age might have been. And the challenge is maybe that's not true. Like when people say to me, oh, you look the same as you did 30 years ago. The answer is no, I don't. But what I say to them is we are aging together. We're moving through life together. And so we're all maturing as we move along. And isn't that what we want anyway? But now Sekou is here, so I'm going to bring Sekou on. And hello, good morning.
How you doing? Good morning. Good morning.
Good. So let me set this up because Sekou reminded me that May is National Stroke Awareness Month. And for those of you who know Sekou, because we've been friends for a long time and we've talked about this over the past couple of years, his journey of having had not one but two strokes, he didn't even know about the second one,
First one.
and what that journey has been like. And it's not like, okay, you have something happens to you and boom, you get healed. It's a journey. It's a journey, and it's a journey that everybody who's had a stroke has a different relationship to it. But
Yes.
when I was thinking about having you come on to share with us, that's actually what made me think of this theme of stay strong,
Mm,
because that is what you have described, that no matter what, you've had to stay strong. No matter what, you've had
right.
to pull for inner strength and physical strength when you didn't necessarily feel you had it. So
Right.
share with us, Sekou, when did you have the stroke that you were aware of, and what has the journey been like for healing?
So I should point out that the stroke that I'm aware of was my second stroke. The first one, I now remember it, and I remember it now, but it hurt me a lot. I didn't recognize it as a stroke, but it hurt quite a bit. And
Really?
yeah, it hurt quite a bit. I remember I was curled up in the fetal position on my floor, just trying to get some help. Like I remember it completely now.
And
And
how long before the second one was it? Was it like months, years?
it was years. It was years. Yeah. But that first
And you
one,
didn't go to the doctor or anything?
I go to the doctor. I did not go to the doctor, and so that the the influence of that may have affected the stronger stroke that came later. But the stroke that came later happened in July 14th, which is my 409 day, because that was day 409 of a run streak that I was doing. A run streak is you promise yourself that you're going to run every single day, and you're going to run for a specific amount of time. So my thing was a mile every day, at least a mile every day. And so I was going and going. And on day 409, everything seemed fine. Everything it seemed like it was working well. I started I started doing a speech at Fisk because that was the day of their culmination, and so I was doing a speech, and then things started looking shaky, and it was during that speech, during that commencement address that I lost everything, and I had my second stroke.
What year was this, Sekou?
This was 2022, so 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah, and I was wheeled away out of the this place where they were having their commencement, and I was taken to the hospital, and it was a long struggle since then, and I've been fighting it every day. Like you said, that I mentioned the fact that May is Stroke Awareness Month to you, but it was mentioned to me, and I'm like, I should know it. I should know that May is Stroke Awareness Month now, right? But every year it's like, oh, such and such showed it to me. So I was like, oh man, but I remembered it then, and then I started reaching out to people. Yes.
So, one of the things that I've learned, because you are among other friends that I know who have had strokes, and so, it's one of those things too where you always think it happens to other people, and then it happens to your people,
Yeah.
and then sometimes to you yourself. And you're like, wait a minute,
Right.
this is really close. And also, every single person seems to have a different experience as it relates to
Mm,
stroke. But
mm,
one thing that seems to be fairly consistent is that it's not like you have a cold and then you heal from the cold and then it's gone.
it is not.
Most people I know have residual impact, residual challenges in their physical, sometimes mental being. And that's part of why I have this thought of stay strong, which has been true for you. So I know in the early days, you had something that people may be aware of called aphasia, when your thoughts and your words didn't match.
Yeah,
And
I still
you
have it.
do.
I still have it. Yes, I still have it.
So
And
describe that to us. What is that like?
uh, so it's like looking down the highway of your thoughts, right? And you see the exit you want to go off on, but your mind in the moment is like, I don't know if I can hit the brakes hard enough. I don't know if I can make the turn. And so it's giving you other information, and you've got to focus very difficult, very hard on making that turn. So it happens to me all the time. And
Wow.
what has helped me has been doing my podcast every day, every day. Because every day I'm like, oh, I sound crazy. I sound, my words aren't right, but I keep on doing it every day, and that has been what's helped me get to this point where I can speak now as clearly as I can.
And so let's talk about this again from the context of Stay Strong, that here's this challenge, being able to articulate the thoughts in your mind in the moment, which you're saying can still be a struggle for you. What is it, what happens inside of you to push you to do it even when it is exhausting? Because I'm sure that that takes a lot of
Oh yeah,
extra energy than if the thoughts just flow off your tongue.
yeah. Now is better than perfect.
Mm.
Now is better than perfect. I made up this quote combined from some other things I read, and that's what I've been struck. That's what I've been working with. Now is better than perfect, and I just launched myself into whatever's approaching me. Then I'm just going to dive into it and hope for the best. And sometimes it comes off bad, sometimes it comes off not so good, but I keep pushing myself into the forefront of doing something for myself. And so, as you say, the this the what was it the trend line for my stroke has been like this, and it has not been a steady uphill battle. And so what I've done is I've tried to divorce myself from my feelings about it and just do it anyway.
Mm.
Whatever there is to be done, I just go for it, and that has helped me a lot.
And also, you have, once you were able to run again, you have continued to run. I know that there were some fits and starts at first. You
Yeah.
started a little sooner than the doctor probably wanted you to, and your body
Yes.
did not allow it. But
Yes.
that's been some time now. So how many days are you at right now?
Wow. I'm at 1,231 days. 1,231 days. That's incredible, right? I
Okay.
know. I know. I know.
That,
I
because
know.
look, let me just say, how many of us are not doing that thing, especially that physical thing that we said we are gonna do, and I am on that list. Like, I joined a Pilates, class, and I really have not gone enough, and I'm saying to myself, I have no excuse. 1,200 days, what's wrong with me?" And
Yeah.
by the way, my daughter, Carrie, just in one of her classes, she learned, this is for everybody, for people who sit 8 or more hours a day, and that makes up so many people because we're at our computers all the time.
Right.
If you sit at your computer 8 or more hours a day and you are not super physically active at other times, you have you are 60% more likely to succumb to whatever ailment may strike you.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow. That's incredible.
I
Wow.
was like, "What? What did you say?" And I mean, that is enough to get your butt up, right?
Yeah. It should be.
We have
Should be.
we have these devices that say, "Stand up." I don't even have my watch on now, but it tells me, "Stand up,"
Right.
after an hour. I remember when I worked on my first book, I got carpal tunnel syndrome because I was just typing so much, and I didn't even know you were supposed to stand up. This is a long time ago. I
Wow.
don't I do rest my hands every hour because I learned that, and thank God I don't have carpal tunnel now, but you are such an inspiration, Sekou, but especially regarding this movement when you don't want to, because you told me about another scenario. If you remember this, you said one day you were going to church and your body was not serving you well, and you decided right then and there you were going to run in the church parking lot. Do you remember that? And can you tell us that story?
Yeah. So what happened was I decided that I was not going to run. I wasn't going to walk because I wasn't running yet. Wasn't going to walk that day, and I just decided. And I was watching church on my mom's screen at home, and this the reverend started talking about me. Started talking about how he saw me out there running, saw me out there, running, walking, doing this thing, and I was like, me, like he's talking about me in the pulpit. And I was like, okay, I gotta go now. I gotta go now. I gotta go now. And so I jumped up and I went outside and I walked and talked as I was walking. But yeah, it took me a lot of time. I walked around the track at TSU, And it took me a long time. I had to keep sitting down and finding some place that was close and work my way from there to home. But yeah, it was challenging, but I did it because he mentioned me. He shouted me out. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Hey
Yeah.
guys, normally this broadcast ends around now. I'm going to go for a few more minutes for those of you who can stay with us. So I'm curious about the push, the inner push when your body and or your mind is in pain, because this is what a lot of people are going through. It doesn't matter what their issue is. You know,
Hold on,
yours is
let me pause you right there. Let me pause you right there because I have been in pain from day one
mm,
of the stroke. So once I
mm,
woke up in the hospital, I have been in pain every single day. My whole right side is in pain every day. Now, sometimes it's a 2, sometimes it's a 3, but sometimes it's a 7, sometimes it's an 8, sometimes it's a 9, and it just varies. And once again, like I feel like I got it this time, but then something happens, and there's something that rejiggers it. So they've given me lots of different medications. I've been on 5 different medications. None of them have worked. And trying acupuncture next. Hopefully that'll work. But I've been trying to focus past the pain. But I've got to focus. But my point, my various point, is different because it's different. Like it's this, sometimes this, sometimes it's this, sometimes it's this. And so I have to
but
be.
here's my question. When you feel that, especially when it's high pain, have you ever, even if it's momentarily, have you ever given up? Like, forget it, I can't.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I have. Like yesterday, I ended up walking my 2 miles instead of running one. I walked 2 miles, but I tell you that it hurt me so bad. And I walked it with Fee, my fiance. She was walking, and she was all full of energy, and I was like, no,
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. But I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything until we made it back home, and then I told her, and she was like, "Really? I thought you were fine." I was like, "No, I was not fine. I was not fine." But that's the game I have to play with myself. I have to play the game of not telling, keeping
Right.
things secret so that I can persevere. Yeah.
And also for those people who have a partner, whether it is a fiance, a spouse, a friend, you know, somebody who can cheerlead you at times when you're feeling down, that is really helpful. Not everybody has that, but most of us can call on a friend or a family member to say, I need your support right now. And it could also be, I don't need you to say anything. I just need you to walk with me. Actually, I don't want you to say anything. I don't want your advice. I don't want you to tell me what I need to do, because that can shut folks down as well. Um, I see Virginia writing, I need to get up. Virginia, me too. I need to get up too. this, but it's so important to do that. Now I'm remembering, say, cool, when you talked about the pain, I remember when I saw you a few months after you'd had the stroke, whenever you came back to New York, and hadn't seen you in person prior to that. And like, you have your little perfect little haircut right now. Your hair was wild as you know what, wild AF. And I was like, whoa, I didn't know what to say. I hadn't seen you in a while. I'm
Yeah.
thinking that this is just not like him. And you were with Fee, and I'm thinking the Fee should have had his hair hooked up. What's going on? And then you told me. I didn't say anything. And as we were sitting and eating, you told me that you had gone to your barber, and as the clippers came close to your head, not even like inches away, the vibration of the clippers made your skin hurt,
Yes.
and that you literally could not allow him to touch your head, clippers or scissors.
Yes.
You couldn't do it.
Yeah, and now that still happens. Like I've gotten it trimmed, obviously, but now I just grin and bear it. Like he's gonna do the right hand side now. I just gotta grin and bear it because it's gotten better, but it's still like this side of my head hurts. It hurts. So any pressure on this side, it hurts. So I just have to bind myself to my goal. my goal is to tell more people about this, to
Mm.
talk to people, because you mentioned that many people have different stroke experience.
Experiences, right?
Yes, each stroke is different. Each stroke is different. Each stroke is different. And so I want to give myself to other people who've had this experience, and let them know that you made it. You made it thus far, and you can make it to where I am. And this is how you do it.
That's beautiful. And I want to say, for anyone who is a survivor of a stroke, I hope you're listening very carefully to what Sekou is saying. But for everybody else, the message is still the same. It's like, take care of yourself, figure out how to push through whatever your challenges are. That was Schwarzenegger's point. It's not about winning, it's about pushing through, learning from your mistakes, never, ever, ever giving up, and understanding that you have the strength inside, that every single one of us has it. It's not like that person over there has it, that person who has a podcast has it. No, we all have it, but it may be a muscle we haven't exercised, that muscle of strength. And if we are to live this life and make it as beautiful as Sanford Bigger's, beautiful mandalas, our own life, then we have to treat it like it is that beautiful. And the one thing I want to say too before we go, for all of us, but I'm going to say also especially for men, go to the doctor.
Yes. And
Like,
listen to the advice. Listen to the advice. Because let me just add this.
mm-hmm.
Because I was running my 409, right? And one of my friends is a dentist, and he was seeing me about something in my mouth. He was like, "Oh, your blood pressure is high," and I was like, "I'm running every day. I'm working out. I'm doing everything. I'm doing all that. It's not me." But it was me, and I didn't take the pills, and that's what happened. That's what happened. I didn't take the pills. I didn't drink my water, and that's what happened. And that's how I ended up being in the stroke area, and
Thanks.
and the I was only one of 17% of people to live past my stroke.
Wow.
17% of people, and so that tells you that my stroke was different than others, and I just want to let people know.
More severe and potentially preventable.
Yeah.
And by the way, I mean, I'm aware so many people have high blood pressure, but I'm aware of people who didn't take their meds, who are not on the planet anymore for whatever reason. Instantly, boom, gone. We need to go to the doctor. We need to take care of ourselves. If you are a person who doesn't believe in Western medicine, I recommend get the tests.
Mm-hmm.
We live in a diagnostic culture where they can figure out what's wrong with you, and then you can decide, what kind of health professional do I want to work with next? If it's not taking Western meds, what is it going to be? Like you just mentioned, acupuncture. I know that acupuncture and Chinese medicine are amazing, but get the test, the Western medicine test first, so you can figure yourself out. So
Right.
we have gone over time, but I want to thank you, Sekou, for joining us and telling us your story and continuing to stay strong and to heal. I want to see Virginia says, today I'm going to fast and pray. I have to change the way I'm living. Yes, it starts with saying you're going to do it and then doing it. And if we can think of going back to this beautiful art from uh, Sanford Biggers of the mandala, make your life the most beautiful life you can make it,
Mm-hmm.
the absolute most beautiful life you can make it. Yes, it's going to end, but make it as beautiful as you can make it while you're here. So thank you, Sekou. Thank you to all of you who tuned in today. And stay strong, you guys. It's what we need to do.
Yeah, that's
All
right.
right.
Keep it
All
up.
right. Thank you, Sekou, and thank you, all of you. Until next time, have a great day and make it count. Namaste.